Yeah. And it
Hemp
gave it
too.
some incredible prowess in combat, you know, fighting to the bitter end.
Yep.
Let's say like Dwarven Slayers are probably like them, or the 8-peak Loonies, we can be very sure.
Yeah. All right. Well,
But
guys, the battle
yeah.
has begun now. We'll keep on talking about mushrooms after this, but right now we have Norsca Vikings, who also did mushrooms, versus the Dark Elves of Hadres, and
Oh
this is
yeah.
round 2 of that
Yep.
best of 5. So,
Yeah, man, on point. The Berserkers here, you know.
berserkers indeed. Here we have the actual mushroom ingesting berserkers. So, do you want to take over the Norskins?
Yeah, why not? We'll go over these fungus-fueled frenzied warriors, and yeah. So we have the two Marauder Berserkers, as well we have three standard Marauders. One of them being the Icehorn Marauders. Now backing them up, standard Norscan army. Really, we have a nice helping of Skin Wolves. We have two. We have one Ice Wolf. We also have some Famir. By the looks of it, they're hopping around. You know, just standard Famir warriors. Now for the skirmish potential, we have three Marauder Horsemen. And for the leadership, it is Veil Fiend, Lord of Shadows, the Sea Lord of Shadows. And pretty standard kit. Arcane Conduit, the Pendulum, and yeah, Feebling Foe, all costs, and Smoke and Shadows. Smoke and Mirrors, excuse me. And of course, Wolfwick the Wanderer on his Mammoth. Standard kit as well. Hunter of Champions, the Boat, and Fight or Die. And, oh yeah, Skirmish. Oh, I went over the Cav already. So this rounds out the Norscan army. It's an army I feel like I've gone over 100 times. It's pretty standard, pretty straightforward. And the only interesting thing is that we were just mentioning that these Marauders were on some psychedelics.
Yes.
And we'll see if those can help them fight despite, yeah,
Yeah, well, and going to the chat really
eating
quick.
so many shots.
Eating mushrooms in
Yep.
combat, yeah, to me that doesn't sound like the best idea. But in terms of religious practices, absolutely they ingested psychedelic mushrooms. So, anyways, moving on from that,
Yeah, it was like
we have the
it was a
Dark
sect of
Elves.
people, you know, that just did it. You know,
Yeah,
it was for.
I would say it was
just
less about
specific
combat
reasons.
and more about like also in religious practices. Like they definitely had mushrooms. Anyways,
Yeah,
here we are.
it was just something to. Honestly, it's just like giving someone a sugar tablet in a way too. It's just something you said, here, you become a great warrior, take this. It's like taking a sugar tablet, someone feeling like they're on top of the world. Somewhat, but then again, there's other reasons for people feeling such ways, but yeah.
Nah.
It's something that's, it's documented across the globe, fanatical warriors fighting with, seemingly, inhuman strength. And, yeah, it's interesting anyway. You can look
Yeah.
across cultures and find it. But
Absolutely.
yeah, this is a pretty interesting Dark Elf kite build, and we'll see if
How it does here.
these Marauders can take these shots to the face and still deal with it later on, because this seems like
ouch. It seems
that's bad.
painful. I mean, we have what
Yeah.
3 Black Orc Corsairs up front, a 4th one still working around the flank, 2 Canite Assassins, and we got Malekith up in the air with Soul Stealer and Stand Your Ground. We got some Dread Spears in the far rear and 2 Scourge Runner Chariots. And is that it? No, we got some Cav. We got Slaanesh's Harvesters hidden, and a unit of Cold One Knights hidden. So yeah, this Dark Elf army doing pretty well on the skirmishing so far. Obviously, though, Wolfric getting in on top of these ones and trying to dish out some pretty serious damage. But so far, this skirmishing has been going very well for the Dark Elves of Hadres.
Yeah, it's a nice little snag there. I can see what he's doing, trying to catch the Black Ark Corsairs with the Ice Wolves, but yeah, did he take too much damage for it to really be cost effective? But this is very curious.
Oh.
Leshy's Harvester is diving right in there. This is not really DK. They want to take. They're a bit too squishy for this. They look like they're about to get smashed.
It does. I mean, Malekith is smashing some Skin Wolves for sure, though, causing that terror route. But yeah, Slaanesh's Harvesters and Malekith both want to get out of there. But there goes Hunter of Champions, and here comes Seafang!
Oh, nice dodge.
Nice dodge indeed. That was about to be devastating, game-changing moment. So good dodge there from the Dark Elves.
Have we seen a pendulum?
Oh, another
Pendulum
Soul
could
Stealer.
come down and I mean, a pendulum would be beautiful right here with this moth of Corsairs, but yeah, this is a big moment here. I feel like the Dark Elves are really taking this engagement a bit premature. They have plenty of ammo. They can pull back and get some good work done. But taking this engagement seems a bit bold. Seems a bit greedy.
Yeah, that it does.
We'll see.
I mean, I guess we'll see how this works out. Web of Shadows getting cast down there. I mean, honestly, the Black Orc Corsairs, all of them are still alive, good on ammo. 2 of them are full health, 2 of them are half health, and I mean, Malekith, he only took about a quarter damage, maybe a third damage in that combat, and he can heal it up, unlike Wolfric the Wanderer, who's now down, closing in on half health. So, I don't know. It just seems like the Dark Elves are really shredding the Berserker infantry and just the Norscan infantry in general.
Yeah, they are losing their cold ones on the right flank, however, with the Skin Wolves regrouping. This is pretty bad, I feel like.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
They're doing well in the center, but Malekith doesn't need to be here. He needs to be on the flank protecting his cold ones, whilst the Black Corsairs just shred these Berserkers, as you were speaking to. And they'll do just fine at that, but the cold ones needed help. They needed it yesterday, and now they're dead.
Yeah.
And with the Skin Wolves healing up, they might have a chance in the late game since there's no cavalry support for Malekith. And it seems these Slaneshi's Harvesters are just dead set on diving into combat and dying, because they continue to do so. But regardless, they only have a few models. There's not much work they can get done from here. And is there, do they pop a debuff?
Breath on top of Wolfric, doing some really good damage. Seafang going through, but going to be a swing and a miss, unfortunately.
Another miss.
Damn. Oh, why is he diving in? There's Fimir Warriors and Skin Wolves and Norscan Warhounds and the Fimir Belfiend, all of them coming in.
And Hunter of Champions, Proc. This is another very greedy and far too bold move, and it looks like this may cost Dark Elves the game. This is, I mean, really leading to a massive Norscan balance of power advantage, and
but Terror going
though.
down,
My
though.
goodness.
Holy
Terror
cow.
is strong.
Damn. If Malekith gets out of here, wow, that was a crazy gamble, and he still took too much damage for it to be worth it, in my opinion. But Berserker's closing in on top of the Black Corsairs, but obviously the armor should protect them a lot. Why is he diving back in?
What's happening? The thing is, another enfeeling foe. The Dark Elves, I felt like, were in a really commanding position, and then Malekith just kind of flew in and threw the game.
Yeah, no, I mean, I couldn't agree more, man. They were in a very strong position, and I think, like you said earlier, Malekith, even though he lost the Cold One Knights, at that moment when he got back in there, he should have just dived over and tried to get in combat with the Skin Wolves. Because then he would have at least been splitting the Norskins apart. Whereas right now, he's just allowed them to continue pushing forward, and just looks like even if Wolfric dies, it's not going to matter,
Yeah, with this Dark Elf army, you clearly don't want to fight the Norscan blob. You want to shoot it.
Yeah.
So diving into the blob was, it's just odd. He made it out just barely by the skin of his teeth the first time, and he had plenty of ammo. He just needed to kite back.
Yeah.
Be a bit patient from there. Maybe he thought it was a bit more dire than it really was. But yeah, losing the Slaneshi Harvester as well really early was big. Yeah.
And it was one armored and one unarmored Skin
The thing
Wolf,
is, if you're gonna throw away some of this cap to try and halt the pursuit, the advance of your enemy, and try and stall them, why do you have cav? Just bring some spears, Like you can just bring instead of this cold one, you could have brought 2 units of spears and just popped them out of the forest at tactical times at planned retreat points.
Yeah.
Because if you're just gonna throw the cav away, you might as well just have spears, right?
Yeah.
Because they're gonna die and hold the line just as well.
Exactly.
They'll do a better job holding the line.
And you could have gotten 2 more spears for the cost of that cav. And I mean, thank you so
Remember
much,
how
Biggie
much
Smalls.
more HP that is, too.
27 gifted subs now, dude. He just gifted one to Sipos and Aerocrastic. Man, what the hell, dude? You were too kind, my friend. Thank you.
I mean, if this is all legit, this is amazing.
No,
it's incredible.
It is insane. And I want to say, too, that going back to the battle, like Malekith, when we thought he made that huge mistake and he got the big terror route, he should have just... Why did he go back in after he escaped near death?
Yeah. Like Arrow put it pretty simply, too. He said, when you kite, you kite. But he kept trying to blob in and fight. I mean, his army is designed to shoot, not to... but he kept trying to... Just definitely some choices he'd probably want to take back, and
yeah.
And I think if he was going for a build like this and he wants to use a strategy like that, maybe just bring some spears, because the Cold One Knights really were just thrown away. But again, that's all in hindsight. It's much easier. But yeah, he just needed to kite. I mean, Arrow said it. When you're going to kite, you kite. So he just needed to kite back and let his crossbows get some work done.
Well, those Black Corsairs were doing beautifully. Like, they were just going nuts. And the Scourge Runner Chariots helping support them, so when the infantry would trace them down, the Scourge Runner Chariots coming in and knocking them out. Like, there were some really good things going for that Dark Elf army, and I just think Malekith getting greedy, as you put it, really threw the game for him.